Welcome to the Big Joker Podcast. This is Table Talk. We're gonna talk about all your comments and stuff like that. What y'all's clowning us, and a lot of y'all was really heated about that moon landing. So hey, real quick, the one thing that came about people. People are like, when y'all talk about the fake moon landing and whatnot, people are talking like, how could they? We thought I made a mention like movie technology wasn't that good back in the day, and someone said you really thought it was harder to record a film and actually go to the moon. So let me just ask y'all real quick: y'all really think we went to the moon, or what do y'all think now, or about that? Joey, what do you think, Joey?
I still kind of think we didn't. I mean, and the whole thing about it is, you know, if people didn't bring certain things to the table to be discussed, right, then we wouldn't have doubt. If no one ever brought it up, but it had to come from somewhere. You know what I mean? It had to come from somewhere.
I don't know.
Yeah, my thing is this, man. My thing is, I think the direction I was going in that last video is like, hey, man, you got to question everything. You know what I'm saying? I've been lied to so many times that it's just like, well, you fool me once, shame on me. You know what I mean? But you ain't gonna keep fooling me over and over again. So it's like question everything. Do your own research, look at the facts. You know what I mean? So all I was saying is I'm gonna go back to the drawing board and test out some of the theories out there. You know what I mean? So I ain't saying I'm perfect, got it right. I don't know one way or the other. I never been outside this planet, so I don't know if there's a moon out there. You know what I mean? I don't know none of that.
I know, but you talk like going to the moon is like going to Vegas. Like you don't have the opportunity to go and check it out for yourself anyway. So it's one of those
exactly. But it's just like to me it ain't gonna change my life regardless. You know what I mean? But you know, I look at it from this perspective. Those people who are flat earthers, and you know, I think that's where the whole moon landing comes into question. For those people, by them questioning, you know, it's like I lost my train of thought, bro.
It'd be like that.
I guess my point is, what's the point of them question? I mean, what's the harm in it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Potentially what they're saying is government's trying to hide some stuff. There's other lands that could be out there, possibilities of that. And so I'm like, hey, you know, and it don't do me no harm to look into it, research it myself. Now, a lot of the times what I'm seeing is just clips and little reels. Like I haven't really seen anybody dig deep and get into debates and stuff like that. So it's hard for me to make an educated take an educated stance on it one way or another.
Yeah, I don't know. It was some interesting stuff, and I know like some of y'all was talking about like aliens and aliens masquerading as demons and whatnot. And I think like I really feel like, especially like in these last days, man, it's gonna be a lot of stuff that we're gonna see, and we're gonna be like, you know, there's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna be, you know, what's real and what's fake. So that's very interesting. Someone else also brought a comment about like technology and whatnot. But I do want to switch gears, man, because y'all being quiet. But I want to talk about what y'all talked about last night about this Diddy situation.
Hey, real quick before I want to bring up one more thing, man. You know, to kind of go along, and we didn't talk about this last time. You know, we seen a whole lot about other dimensions and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's some interesting stuff because that could come into play too. You know, with our whole theory that we were talking about last time. You know, so that other dimensions, you see it in not even in just Spider-Man, but there's a lot of talk about it, AI, and I don't know, man. What's y'all thoughts on that?
I mean, I think stuff's changing every day. You know what I mean? I think if you think about it back in the day when we was younger, you know, we used to watch Jetsons and be like, oh, man, that'd be cool to be able to talk to somebody and be able to see them on the phone. Well, nigga, we doing it right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not, but and you also got to think like back then, something like that seemed unbelievable. It seemed unimaginable until it's a part of our every regular day lives. You know what I mean? Just because something seems so outlandish or something seems not believable or, oh, that'd never happen or that could never happen, doesn't mean that one day it won't be a part of our regular everyday lives. Now it's the normal. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the normal. We got electric cars. That stuff's the normal. They got hoverboards. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that now is normal versus back in the day when we first seen it and we was younger and we're like, oh no. But now it's here. You know what I'm saying? So like, I mean, you gotta think about it like that. That's just like everything else. We gotta think about it. My old head told me one time. He said, imagine how everyone felt. Well, imagine how the first person that said, y'all know it's little things in the air. We can't see them unless you use a special device that fly around, and it's hundreds of thousands of them, and they can get inside your body and make you sick. They call it germs. Imagine the first person that tried to describe what a germ was. You know what I mean? It sounds crazy.
They thought
it sounds crazy.
Something right.
I like that.
Magic.
I was gonna say I think a good a scenario or a good scenario where Boogie was talking about things being normalized as opposed to them not being just depending on the people and the times. Is Demolition Man. Remember when everything was normalized to everybody who was already there, but when Sylvester Stallone went into time, he was essentially, man, like, shocked, like shell shocked, like what the hell's going on? But
is that the joint to Bull? He got rid of water and he was feeding Gatorade to his crops.
No, that's the one with Wesley Snipes. Remember Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes?
That's a different movie.
He was frozen for some. Yeah, he was frozen. I don't know what movie you talking about.
No, I saw a movie too. That's Idiocracy. That's a good movie too. Let's call it Idiocracy, something like that. They had Terry Crews as president.
Yeah,
but no, I also would add with respect to spaceships and aliens. I just think that if we pay more attention and pay close attention to what's going on around us, yes, there is in fact undoubtedly life beyond us in the universe. Remember what I made mention before. If you look it up, I got the map book in front of me. I was trying to find some of this stuff. These billionaires are going to outer space for months at a time. They said they're building another civilization. I'm sorry, out in space on another planet. Mm-hmm. Why are they going up there? What are they doing up there? And then you hear rappers. Lil Wayne's made references to he getting his spaceship and leave Earth. You think he just saying that? You don't think that Negro really got a spaceship? He got a spaceship.
He got a spaceship.
And he's in this secret society.
I think that's cap. Hey, Weezy ain't going nowhere.
But see what I'm saying? Until in his music video, we doing a countdown like NASA about to send something up into the space, and it's reality. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to find it right now.
Hey, you know what I believe in? I'm gonna tell you. I got 2 words for you, bro. Space Jam. The aliens are coming.
But it wouldn't been no Space Jam if it wasn't no aliens.
Bro, I ain't sending LeBron up to Space Jam. I'm sending Steph Curry. Because that boy is shooting from the
spaceship. Y'all silly, man. Go ahead. You want to segue now, Ish?
Yeah, man. I was thinking just a whole bunch of stuff is going to be exposed, man. Like last year, you heard a lot of people got exposed. I don't know the situation with celebrities, and we're talking about Diddy and whatnot, and a lot of that stuff in Hollywood. We talk about Cat Williams. Do you guys think that stuff really be happening, or you think people? Let me ask you this: do you think it's really just in Hollywood? You think it's really hard work, or you think it is favor for favor type of those type of situations in Hollywood?
No, man. I honestly feel like there's forces and spirits and stuff behind all of that stuff that drives it into the direction that it's driven. I don't believe that it's just something that's just made up out of thin air. Even the lie has to come from a part of a truth. Right. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that, a lot of this stuff is just, everything is tools. It's either tools for the enemy or it's tools for the good side. You know what I'm saying? Everything is tools, and there's a tool to influence everybody on either side, good and the bad. I do feel that the enemy uses a lot more tools than what we use, because I still feel like we stuck in the past. when it comes to certain situations, but that's for another episode.
No, I would say when it comes to that stuff, man, Cat Williams is incredibly brilliant, right? And when I watched that interview and just watched him over the years, you could tell he is 100% authentic and genuine in what he is saying. And it is clear, just even with the whole demasculation of Black men in Hollywood, and they have to put on a dress in order to be successful and to elevate to the next level. You see, when Kevin Hart did it, he took off. Why?
Yeah, and
Why
he
is it
wasn't the
Kevin
first
Hart?
person, and he wasn't the first person to say that neither. You know
No,
what I'm saying? It's been multiple people. Cat Williams wasn't the first one to come out and say that. You know what I mean?
No, it's 100% truth. I believe it's 100% truth. 100% truth.
I
And
do
also,
too.
listen, man, that man put that dress on in that Saturday Night Live skit. We see Kevin Hart in all these commercials, all these movies, and it's not because he's just so much more talented than the Kevin Harts and the Mark Epps. It's just because he, in fact, went on ahead and went the extra mile and sold his soul. He did, and that's what Cat Williams is talking about. This dude is not because I think he just worked so hard and that's where he's gotten to where he's gotten. Does hard work play a factor in it? Yes, but I think that the Hollywood is selective in who they choose to rise to these different levels of success.
I mean,
they
look,
handpick them.
I ain't trying to somebody, man, but it's like Kevin Hart is not that funny to me, bro. Like I try to watch,
he's really not.
He's not that funny. Like he's funny in movies. Like he has some funny movies, but I never really laughed at Kevin Hart.
Well, you gotta think that first movie wasn't that funny.
Soul Plane.
That one was trash.
Yeah.
It was trash. Then after that, he did start getting these big, huge roles. Like I don't know the nigga personally. I don't know him.
Right. We don't know what's right.
We just know what's presented to us.
Right.
Yeah.
But the things I believe that Cat Williams speaks on, man, I believe they're truthful, man.
I do too.
I do too. He said he turned down how many hundreds of millions of dollars, how many times? I believe him.
And that's what it is. What they say it's a special number.
He said, I have a standard. And I'm
so
not
let me
gonna,
ask you this though. So I done seen some videos about Cat that basically, you know, even though he be coming out talking about Illuminati, like he part of that too. You know what I mean? And they started, you know, point to the necklace he wearing, that folk woke, you know what I mean? And when you start researching, you start looking at the symbolism behind it, you know what I mean? They got it's Masonic type of symbolism. So
yeah, man, but that's a brotherhood. And even though it's meant for evil, it's a brotherhood. And you have never heard of one person that's involved talk about another person that's involved in a negative way. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about the Masons?
To me, I feel that stuff that people is pointing out right now was just petty because, you know, Cat done exposed some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Think about how many people who got down.
No, man. Don't skirt the subject, bro. Are you a Freemason?
What?
Are you a Freemason?
Who?
You. Oh, man.
But listen, I know what he's saying
because I'm just saying you got to think about it though, because it's like, you know, you ain't never heard of Jay-Z talk about no Diddy. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never heard no whoever. I don't know who all in the zone, but you got to think about it. They wouldn't. Cat Williams wouldn't have went through everything that he went through as far as the way that they try to demasculine him, the way that they try to tear down his character with the smoking dope and all that other crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's signs of someone who went against. You gotta look at Martin Lawrence. It happened to Martin. It happened to Dave Chappelle. You know, Martin. Like, you gotta look at these people it happened to and what they did to them. Even Bill Cosby. I don't believe Bill Cosby was doing that stuff, man. They can make us believe whatever they want to make us believe, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe Bill Cosby was doing that.
Wait. Bill Cosby was doing that, bro.
No, he wasn't.
Doing that, man. Bro.
Out of the blue, 1,000 different females gonna come out of the blue. Not a peep ever came out. Not a little inkling or nothing ever came out. They gotta be a leading up to.
The way that he used to party was the norm back in the day, but doesn't mean it wasn't right. It doesn't mean it was that
don't mean he was doing it though, neither. It's Bill Cosby. Why he got to drug somebody to get some buns, bro? You gotta think about it. It's Bill Cosby.
That's his thing, bro.
Old white woman and Bill Cosby approached me, I'd get physical with him. He would have to put that in my drink. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about this stuff, bro.
Yo,
like
hey,
it's
yo,
like that.
hey,
It just
yo.
blows my mind.
Hey,
Yo, I don't think I'm catching everything everybody is saying right now, man, because we talking over each other and stuff like that.
You
But
better get you a baseball mitt.
you ready?
oh, man.
Joe think Bill Cosby innocent. He said free the devil.
And not
Here's what I'm gonna say, man.
like OJ Simpson innocent. You know what I'm saying? I think OJ Simpson innocent just because I'm a black man, and that's what I'm supposed to think.
You think OJ Simpson is innocent?
Hey,
I mean, you know.
Cams, don't front. You
know he killed that woman.
Hey, Cams, you
But
gonna be back in sixth
here's
grade.
the
You
thing,
want to cheer for that verdict? Cams, hold on a second. You know in sixth grade, in sixth grade, Cams, when that verdict was being read, you probably cheered like everybody else.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because
they stopped class.
This was retribution for Rodney King. That's all that was about. They just got off and beat Rodney King on tape, all crazy, and they beat it. So when this happened with OJ Simpson, it was like the black, not the black community, but the black people of America. That was like our payback. You know what I'm saying? Like, look how it feels. You know what I'm saying? Now you know how it feels not to get justice for something that's clearly, justly worthy, or however I want to say it. But I remember that. I remember that.
Hey, can I steal the floor for just 1 minute?
Go ahead, Rob.
Let me steal the floor, yo. I think what we got to stop doing is giving people passes, though, because we like them. You know what I'm saying? That's showing a sense of biasy. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm happy this dude got off because he was black, right? We gotta quit being partial, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Color, we gotta disregard the color, disregard who we like. If you wrong, you wrong. If you right, you right.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? Like,
listen, I hear you, but what Candace said basically, OJ tied the series up. We were down. OJ tied the series up.
Rob.
We got
Hey, Rob, on some real stuff, I agree with what you're saying. But my thing is like this, like when it comes to like, say music or any type of entertainment, you know what I mean? Okay, we know Chris Brown like to beat women up. You know what I'm saying? We know he's a woman abuser, right? But at the end of the day, that don't take away from how dope his music is. You know what I'm saying? I could like him for his music and not his character. You know what I'm saying? I could like somebody for what they're providing for us and not what they're doing, against whatever.
But can you support him?
I can support his music, like R. Kelly. R. Kelly made dope music.
Listen,
he did some foul stuff.
R. Kelly's music. Listen, some of my kids wouldn't be here if it weren't for R. Kelly. Man, I done made babies to R. Kelly. Listen, and
some of us wouldn't be here.
She can't stand him, and I play him sometimes in the car. And she just, but I was like, babe, it's the music. It's not him. It's not his character.
The music.
But I appreciate what Rob is saying, because by listening to his music, that's a way of supporting him. It really is. Okay. So I think that's, Rob, that's what
right. So let one of Chris Brown's victims sing one of his songs, she gonna snap out. She gonna have a flashback. You talk about it's okay.
Right.
Here's the thing. Not only are we supporting their music, but we just supporting their ideology. When you go back and you listen to Aaliyah, age ain't nothing but a number. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you're not just supporting like the music at that point. You supported his pedophilia.
Yes,
okay, let me ask you this, Rob.
That's true.
Is it okay for a person?
Think about this, huh?
Is it okay for a person to get fired from his job? He can be the best person at his position, at his job for 15, 20 years running. But he got pulled over on a DUI and his job fired him for it because they don't support drinking and driving? No, that's not fair. That's not fair. We have to learn. We have to learn as humans. That's like saying, God cutting us off from grace because we not doing what we supposed to be doing all of the time. You know what I'm saying? He still support us, even in all of our ways. You know what I'm saying? Granted, he ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna bless you with $50. Go and grab you a bag, Joey. You know what I'm saying? That's not what he gonna tell me. You know what I'm saying? But he still supports me in the things that I do along the way. You know what I mean? So I feel it's very similar. I feel it's very similar just because these people are on these pedestals and they're, superstars and stuff like that. That don't mean we treat them differently. You know what I'm saying? Okay, no, I don't support his pedophilia, but I support. I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. You know what I'm saying? I can support that. That's
Rob made a good point though.
Good.
Rob talked about giving people passes. He said something. I was like, we all think Michael Jackson didn't do it, or maybe he did, but we think Michael Jackson didn't do it. A lot of people like go for back from Michael, right? But we ain't gonna pretend like he didn't grab his stuff for 20 years and we just let it slide. I mean, he did it for 20 years and our children, all that stuff, and we can't let that slide.
But he wasn't grabbing his stuff. He was on his belt buckle. You gotta pay attention.
Nah, bro.
I guess here's part of my point though. Like we put these entertainers, athletes on a pedestal, right? And we put them up as people that our children should idolize, right? So yeah, I understand that people need second chances, and I believe in all that. You know what I mean? Obviously, I got second chances a lot of time in my life. But at some point, we got to sit there and look our children in the eyes and be like, yo, I'm not supporting this anymore. Like, if it comes out that somebody is a Satanist or a witch, like, why in the world would I let my children listen to the music? You know what I mean? To come in agreement with that, or you know what I mean, to have those subtle things put into their mind. We don't even know what type of levels it is at. You know what I mean? To the spells or whatever might be going into their music. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna let our children listen to it. Like, if you show yourself to be somebody who ain't worthy to be respected, then at some point I gotta stop rocking with you. Like, just for me and mine. You know what I mean? At some point we gotta have a principle. You know what I mean? And just like, yo, I'm gonna be a man of integrity, a man of principle. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. Like, at the same time, I do feel like we should still operate on innocent until proven guilty, because a lot of times we hear some negativity and first thing we want to do is jump to the conclusion that, oh, this person is guilty. You know what I mean? So I think we got to stop that. Like, we got to really just like, all right, I need to see the facts for myself. Now, I never watched the OJ trial, to be honest with you, so I can't really sit here and say I think that he's guilty. You know what I'm saying? But I know when we was in college, when we heard that TP2, first thing after track number 3, I'm like, he guilty.
Hey Rob, I want to add, if I can, I want to clean something up, right? Because you talked about idolizing these people, these famous people, these entertainers, and I just did God a great disservice, right? Because each of my children are here and only hear about the glory of God. R. Kelly did not have nothing to do with it. I give all God all glory and honor for them. Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. So we know that no childbirth, no conception is by accident. Each of my children are here because of God, and I give God glory for them, and I praise God for them. That was a joke about R. Kelly.
I knew that was a joke, man. We all here clowning, but I keep
make sure.
Yeah, we gotta make sure about this. This is being recorded.
But you gotta also think, like, even your favorite athletes. Like, see, me, I might be a little naive when it comes to stuff like that. I'd rather not know. Let me like you for what I like you for. You know what I'm saying? Versus me allowing the world, or me allowing, my own biased opinion to, deter me away from, how I feel about what I like you for. You know what I'm saying? Just let me like you for what I like you for. We got these athletes. If we knew everything about everybody that we looked up to, or that we seen, that in the sports world, athletes and entertainers, we wouldn't be able to like nobody, because nobody is living the way that we would expect them to be living.
That's true.
He's spitting bars.
So I'm standing on business when I say, when it comes to, entertainers and athletes and stuff like that, I respect what they do in their hustle, not what they do if it's negative on the back end. You know what I'm saying? If my favorite basketball player could score 70 points in one game and then he go home and beat up his wife out of a drunken rage, I'm not rooting and hollering for him because he beat her up or whatever. That's not my business. You know what I'm saying? My business is you my favorite basketball player. You just put up 60, 70 points for us and we won the game. That's all I need to know about. I don't need to know everything else about this man. Everybody don't know everything about you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: we had a lot of NFL people that beat up their wives. You think that they should be able to get back into the league, like a Ray Rice type of situation?
Can I chime in? Because do you lose your, if I work at Erie Insurance and I beat up my wife, do I lose my job at Erie Insurance?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Why is it? Is it because?
But here's the thing: like you become when
you
you
hired me not because I'm a good husband,
right?
Huh?
Bro.
You hired me
your
because
wife.
I'm a good
Just
salesman.
saying.
I can sell insurance.
Let a tape come out if you beat up your wife. Erie Insurance will say you got to go. Believe.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then, Joe, it is your business because you paying him. I mean, he's getting paid because of eyes on television. So it is literally you are supporting. I mean, I just feel like when you get to a certain level of finance, you need to think that you're not above the law. But anyway, we need to wrap up. We got like 5 minutes left. So I want y'all to give y'all final word on the situation.
Hey, my final thought is, man, I am about who I am by the grace of God, man.
Yeah,
I ain't
man.
trying to act like I'm perfect, but at the same time, I'm calling out to these celebrities, to these athletes, to these people of power and influence. Why is it that when we get into a place of authority where you reach those levels, like why do we have to flip the switch and go the wrong way? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, man, be men of God, and even if you ain't a person of faith, be somebody positive to your seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Like when you get into that place of authority, and like Charles Barkley, he never wanted to be somebody's idol. He said that, right? But at the same time, you still carry a great deal of influence. And I'm just saying, hey, if you put in that place of authority, I'd like to see. I would support you if you out there living right and you shine and try to do the best you can. Now, if you fail and fall along the way, and you know what I mean, you get back up, I'm gonna still support you. But hey, man, I'm saying, I guess that's all I gotta say. You can edit that how you want to edit it, ish, because I know
That's
I
good.
stumbled over my words a
Yeah,
little
but you
bit.
got
But
a paragraph. All right,
That was good.
Campbell, what about you? Final word.
Final words. Just thinking about some of the things we spoke on. When it comes to these people that's famous and hold positions that are prominent. Um, I just don't. I think it's important. Okay, so God, I'm gonna say this. This is what I want to say. God opposes the proud, but He shows grace and favor to the humble.
Well,
right. So. God opposes the proud, but He shows grace and favor to the humble. So being prideful repels the favor of God, and being humble attracts the favor of God. And what I've been trying to do now more than ever, and I talk to my wife and kids about this all the time, is be humble. Like it's a struggle for me to be humble. I don't like to be disrespected. I hate to be embarrassed. I don't like to look weak or less of a man in front of other men, or especially in front of my family. But God has been showing me, what He's been showing me for years is any man can throw a punch, any man can retaliate violently to another man's disrespect. But it takes a real man and it takes real strength to be humble and stand firm in that and say, you know what? I'm not going to let you allow me to misrepresent the kingdom of God or misrepresent me being a man of God, or so that's where my final thought lies at. I'm just I'm going to go out for the day for a while with the wife, and I just want to maintain my humility, and I want to encourage everybody else to do that. And then so how that correlates with the people in these positions is if they were just more humble, man, because they have a great platform and they have the ability to influence people one way or the other. So many people look up to them and I, like we said, idolize them, and the things that they say are so important to them. So if they use that, man, to perpetuate things of God and positivity and man, just think how much of an impact that will be on our children and the community, man. So I don't know if Puff Daddy or any famous or NFL players are going to ever watch this or will watch this. But if they do, that would be my final thought.
All right. All right, Joey, what about you, bro?
To each his own, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just my thing. I think it just go to the people that's probably listening for the most part is that we're not professionals at or at anything we talk about. You know, everything we talk about, we talking about our own personal experience has a lot to do with it. You know, how it influence and impact our lives has a lot to do with it. What we done heard and put together on our own has have a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So we all just speaking broadly, and we hoping that we reaching everybody's, everybody's way of thinking when it comes to certain topics. You know, we don't want to leave nobody. We want to be able to have some input on a little bit of input on how everybody may think. You know, so everything we say is not exactly how we feel, you know, but we just want to see how we feel about what we talking about and hear how y'all feel about what we talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I feel you.
Just real quick, my final word is just going to be Bill Cosby did it, OJ did it, and Space Jam. God bless y'all. I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Joker Podcast.
Joker Podcast.
Y'all be blessed.
Joker Podcast.
Yes.